we know the top priorities are homelessness, housing, the issues of crime, quality of life. You want to talk about cancel culture? Look at the Republican Party. Anything with 3 letters, these guys keep coming. It's not just access to abortion, but contraception, rolling back voting rights, LGBTQ rights, women's rights.
Gavin Newsom made an appearance on Bill Maher and, like he usually does, took time to destroy Republican agendas. At this point, we need him to do these weekly with how easily he dismantles these talking points. Here he is about gender-neutral bathrooms in California and the Republican outrage over them.
It wasn't legislation that was enacted, that was initiated from my office, but it was legislation that came up with interesting support from the industry itself. But I understand how that's exploited, and good people can disagree. But that's not something we woke up and said, this is a top priority for the state, when we know the top priorities are homelessness, housing, the issues of crime, quality of life, and issues related to regulation and taxes, which are all top of mind. But I get how those things...
Very well put. This is a fringe issue that Republicans try to focus on because they're losing on all the issues that matter to the most amount of people. With that being said, gender-neutral bathrooms have been in countries for years. It's even been a thing in some states, like in New York, since 2015, and all the major studies on the matter show no evidence of a higher rate of assault or crimes going on in these sorts of bathrooms. Again, faux outrage over faux issues because they're losing on policies and have wildly unpopular positions.
I'm not going to sit back and watch. You made the point just a moment ago in your monologue. You got folks out there trying to bring us back to a pre-1960s world. America in reverse, rolling back voting rights, LGBTQ rights, women's rights, not just access to abortion, but contraception. I mean, it's a profound and consequential moment. And you could sit by and say, well, I really want to get along as these guys are rolling back the clock, or you can stand tall and assert yourself. And the reason I started to go into those red states, the reason I started to take on DeSantis, and the reason I started doing ads in these red states is I didn't feel my party was doing enough. It was CRT one year, and then it's ESG, and it's DEI, anything with 3 letters. These guys keep coming, and they're shapes.
Now, this is hilarious, especially with Vivek adding FBI and a couple others to it, but it's also true. Anything race-related, the right just wants to erase. Anything that bears proof of the effects of racism in this country, the right is rushing to remove, because to them, if you remove the proof it existed, then it never existed. You can't have CRT because it teaches kids that slavery was real and bad and has lasting effects. Let's replace it by teaching them that slavery taught Black people much needed skills. You can't have DEI. Let's just continue to let qualified Black candidates get overlooked, even though companies with a DEI team perform better, are seen as better work environments, and are more likely to be industry leaders in their sector.
You want to talk about cancel culture? Look at the Republican Party. Ask Bud Light, Target, Disney. That's just the private sector. Banning speech, not just in the classroom, but in the boardroom as it relates to issues of race. Look what they've done. 3,362 books just last year they're banning. This is a serious and consequential moment. It's the cultural purge that's going on in this country. And so I just felt like we needed to call that out as Democrats and put them on the defensive, since we're consistently on our heels as a Democratic Party, even though I think the facts bear out our case significantly better than the case on the other side.
Republicans ignore Neil Gorsuch plagiarism and then focus in and cancel a Black woman for the same thing. They go after Disney, Bud Light, Target, all for just supporting things that have differing views than their opinions, and then they have the nerve to talk about cancel culture like it's not the crux of their party. The Republican Party is the party of authoritarianism. If you say or do anything that we don't like, you're censored. Bud Light sent a beer to a trans woman. That's it. They sent her a beer, and Republicans went on months-long tirades of just trying to cancel Bud Light at any turn. Benny Johnson was shooting them up with guns, all because they sent a beer to a trans woman. Target sold gender-inclusive clothing. No, that's too much. Get out of here, Target. These people just want to get rid of and ostracize anything and everything that's different from them until America goes back to a predominantly straight, white, Christian, male country, and they won't be pleased until it does. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that can interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video, because the only way we become a society is together.